Good morning. Just want to take the time to thank everyone who has been watching, because yesterday or the day before we passed 500 subscribers here on YouTube and the channel, and as you can see I'm lagging a bit behind with the episodes, but I'll catch up soon. Very good special day this was. Yeah, thanks a lot for tagging along, for riding along, and for following the build. And let's take this to a good end with Alp once it's great. And I think I'll be keen on making it even greater, but that's something for later. And before that, we got to start prepping for South America, right? And then actually riding South America. It would be an understatement to say that in the last few months, especially when I was still down south, that at times certain comments, not just on YouTube but also on forums or messages that I get from people, and that actually really help keep the morale up and to keep me going during times where I was just kind of floating around. So thanks for that too. That was awesome. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope I can take you to some awesome places once we get going again. So work kind of fizzled out yesterday. I really couldn't focus on the task at hand. So we are this morning, and I got to sort out the wires while being with the motorcycle. Yeah, and I also wasn't too happy about this. Just a bit bummed out, I guess. So stupid and silly how it happened. I already smacked my head over this, so. But for now, get back to the Koso. We want pretty shiny lights on the dash. Well, don't ever put me in charge of plug design. So, low oil, blue and red bottom. It's like filling out a bingo card. Now, I'm not using the Haynes manual here because I wasn't sure which one it was. I have an idea, the Germany 1 VM, I think, but you have to stare at them for a long time and then you'll figure it out. But this just seems way quicker. Just sit next to the cables and sort everything out. So ended up looking here at the wiring diagram for the side stand indicator, because here it's black and red, no, yellow and black, and it's not on there, and it's not a cable like that there. And the side stand indicator is pinkish, but there is no pinkish cable here. So I'll have to follow that. Other than that, the other cables seem alright. Oil pressure light, blue and red, all good. These maps always remind me of subway maps. This is Tokyo, basically. So, you follow the money on these diagrams. Then we get to the pinkish goes into the switch, which is a green, and Aereo, the beautiful yellow and green that was also used for the bypass. Yellow and green. Becoming much clearer, but we have 4 slots left, and I think this black one goes here. That's probably earth. So we have 3 slots left, so I'm gonna see which one is the best candidate. You know what? Maybe I need to go off the Haynes here, the manual, because I got 2 left ones here as left indicator, right indicator, but the previous Speedo doesn't even use those spades plugs. So, and I had it working here, so that's not it. Alright, the wiring diagram ain't that bad. So it's a lot easier since the last time when I did this on the west coast of Australia, when the regulator blew the ECU. The air regulator got fried the battery, blew the ECU, and I had to get into electrics, and this was like madness. But it makes a lot more sense now. So I had the left indicator wrong. Right indicator was good. That means that I only hooked up the left indicator to that, but there was only one light. Must have had a reason for it. And the reason I can't find some other wires is here's some decommissioned wire, and here is Mr. Pinkish. So that is the temperature gauge. So I can, no, the side stand gauge, so I can hook it up there. So the other plug is black and yellow, which is this tachometer, or the RPMs, which, based on some chatter on Transalp forum, looks like that cable won't work and you have to apply a different technique to get it working on the Koso. This one's wrong. And I had black as earth, but green is earth. This one's wrong, so I got two left. Can't really place them at the moment. Brown, there's no brown. There's orange, but no brown. There's one color here that looks like purple, but I'll just call that brown. And that's all for lights. Whenever there's an earth, this one's involved. Well, earth is actually involved everywhere almost. All the time. Okay. So I'll call black, I'll just call that power. It's just involved with power. But then brown is involved with everything that gives light in the Speedo console. So that's something I can dismiss if the Koso doesn't have, unless that's the equivalent of power on the Koso, which I was going to hook up to the black. So we'll have to play around with that. Alright, got it. So the Koso has the positive pole connector, and on the diagram it leads back to the battery, Mr. Black. So don't be afraid of the wire diagram. Have a good look at it, and it surprises me every time how slowly things start to clear up. Remember, before the West Coast, I wouldn't even look at electric, and then I didn't have a choice, and you know, it forces you into this world, and it becomes a bit easier. And then I saw that fella Brian at work. That gave me a lot more confidence to work with this. It's, again, something, I know it's so obvious, but you block these things out for so long until you have to, and then it turns out, oh well, that ain't too bad. Always gives you a bit more confidence, a bit more knowledge to try out future new things in relation to, you know, this kind of work on the bike. Speedo, no. Side stand light, there is none on the Koso, so I'm going to use the EOBD light for that, and someone mentioned it on the forum too, so we'll go with that. Alright, let's get this going. And it's so nice to work with new plugs. So I remember when I had to do this back in Aussie, to undo these clips takes a while. You'll get there, but it takes a while. Now working with new stuff, don't have a crimping tool, so I am going to go pliers. That's how it is. This is the part where I ask all if there are any electrician watching, or avid electric aficionados. Look away, skip a few minutes. I'm not going to like this. We're doing orange. I just did orange. Blue. So blue is a turn signal, so blue will go here. Squeeze it real tight. It's pretty neat now. Look. So that'll do. Here we go. These crimps, I mean these spades, plugs, spades, have a long, whatever you call that. I can show you. See how the bottom, it's long. The bits that you normally crimp into the wire. Well, the original ones were a lot shorter. I don't have those. So you have to kind of fold them over each other. Not ideal, but look at this. You know, I'm not going to pull the wires. Brown and black have been doing my head in, but that goes to the ignition. And I can't really get a clear on that. So as far as I can tell, is that black power plus pull to that is the main power to the whole thing, and then brown is the other part that goes to the ignition. I imagine if I put them together and just hook them up to the power, that you should get the closed circuit that you need. I say that also because from the previous Speedo, I've always also run 2 cables down to 1, which is the power cable, or the plus cable. Right, here we go. Here's a double ridden brown, which I suspect is power. And the next one. Get in there. Orange for the oil. Alright, there we go. That's a start. That's one. As they say from where I'm from, now we're getting somewhere. There's the bracket. Damn it. And now we're going to put a washer on there. Yeah, let's lose everything. And a spring washer. At some point I'll get a lock nut for this because I think that's much better, but this is all I got for the moment. So this Koso business, Speedo business, has been taking a lot longer than expected, so I don't think the wire loom is going to happen this weekend. Next one. So the way I have my bracket, I knew beforehand that it was going to be very tight with the cable assembly because it's very fat. And I completely disregarded it with putting the bolts in. So I already use the washer, that big ass washer that came with the Koso. Use a normal one. And I think I'm going to drill out the hole, this one, to the side, this side, so I can bring it because there's a sliding area where you can put in the bolt, so I can max out the bolt to the left to make room for the cable in the back. Well, I don't know much about carbon fiber, but I want to make a hole this size here, pretty close to a different hole for the cables, and still it's going to be a tricky one to get the cables through. Will that hold or will it crack? I think I need to move it to the right, but it's not going to fit. Something I could have considered before I made that hole is remove the plug, like I did now. And you just shove all the cables through. It's been, to be honest, going frustratingly slow this today. It's dark already. Weekend's almost over. Still got to get this to work too. So now it's hooked up to the bracket. Hooking up the plug again. Let's hook this up. All right, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, it might help if I hook up all the other cables too, eh? All right, take two. Not much happening, is there? Right, nothing. I'm basically wrapping it up here, calling it quits for the day. This feels like a horribly unproductive weekend. Unbelievable. Didn't even get the thing installed. I think it needs a connection on the power wire, which is all coming into the ignition here. Yeah, I still need plenty of time to work on that. So now I'm just putting it all into place as good as I can and just leaving it for now. I need to bike the whole week.